Hey, 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 hey. We're live and it's 12:45. Hope you're all having a great start to your day and you're getting ready for the Thanksgiving dinner I'm hoping you're having with family and stuff tomorrow. It's very important to be thankful for all that we got. I know I am thankful. I am thankful for a lot of things, so we'll go with that. All right, so we have a good lineup today. And I think we're going to have some fun too at the same time. I'm hoping. But the first thing on the agenda always is I am a thirsty man. And I know Mr. Nissan's here to help me. Right, Mr. Nissan? That's right, Darren. Well, thank you, Mr. Nissan. So, what are we drinking for our first beverage today? It's called, Garage Beer. Look at that. Yeah, beer you drink in the garage, but we're drinking it on the show. And it's weird. Hey, Mr. Lamont, you sure did get second there. So, this beer, stupid story. I went in to MGM, and I saw a cardboard standee, and it showed like a guy standing there with like garage beer in his hand. I go, ingenious. I love to drink in the garage. Why wouldn't I have a beer that's called garage beer? And so, needless to say, I pick up a 24 pack, and it wasn't cheap. It was like $25. And I get home to realize it's really just a Taylor Swift beer because the Kelsey brothers made it. And it tastes like nothing. It doesn't even taste like beer. So, if you're really into light beers, garage beer's for you. Right, Mr. Nissan? You betcha. All right. Thanks, Mr. Nissan. Speaking of Mr. Nissan, he informed me today that we should be dedicating this show to Black Friday. I mean, that's just like a couple days away. So do we have some Black Friday items up for you today? In fact, the last item you're going to see today is still at 99 cents. So there's a 99-cent special you can get in on. And it's weird. It's a weird item. So, I don't even have a watcher on it, so who knows if it sells. Tastes like cold. Yes, that's what this beer tastes like. Cold. I hope you enjoy the taste of cold. Yeah. Anyway, maybe the in-laws will like it. Tomorrow, we have Thanksgiving. We're hosting it here. And not only are my in-laws coming, but my brother-in-law and wife are coming too. How exciting. I always cough at the beginning of the shows. And we're going to do racks of ribs. I'm making 4 racks of ribs on the smoker. And I think it's going to be delicious. At least that's what I'm hoping for anyway. But we'll see how that turns out. We're going to do, I like the Famous Dave's barbecue, to be honest. So I go with kind of a generic rub, not generic name brand. It's that Texas whatever brand, I can't remember, but it's like an all-purpose seasoning. And so what I'll generally do is I take my baby back ribs out and I cut off any excess fat I see, and I kind of clean them up. I also peel off the back, the membrane, so that you don't get that weird crisp. It's gross. And then I dry them up, coat them in mustard, and hit them with that all-purpose seasoning, and generously. And then we throw them on the smoker for about 3 hours. Then I take her down, and I only do it at 180 for the first 3 hours, and then I turn up to 225, and I cover them in foil. Put about half a stick of butter with each rack and some Dr. Pepper, and turn them upside down so it's meat side down, and I do that for a couple hours, and then I take that all out again, and 2 of the ribs I'm going to cover in Famous Dave's what's their salvery? I can't remember what it's called. It's delicious though. And the other one is Devil's Spit. I'll be doing the other 2 with that. So, and I leave that on for I'll probably do a half hour to 45 minutes at 225 with the actual barbecue sauce on them, and I'll check on them there to see what their state is at. But Yeah, it's kind of the 3-2-1, but it's a little different because I think 3-2-1 is always 225, 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour. But I do just slightly different. So had good luck with it too. Had pretty good luck. Pretty good luck, let me tell you. All right, well, why don't we take a moment? Let's take a look at the lineup that we have today. And I think we will see what's going on, right? Let me hit the refresh here first. I want to make sure we have the most up-to-date prices. So the first two items, which end in about 10 minutes, we have the Sega Genesis game lot of 10 games at $15.53. And then we have the Sega CD lot, including Marky Mark, Make My Video, Sewer Shark, and Rock Paintings. Now that is a lot. All right, the next set of auctions, we got Zool 2 for the Atari Jaguar, complete in box. Gosh, how does someone come across something so cool? I tell you. Then we have, sitting at $4.25, it is the number 4 CD sampler in the 3DO sampler editions. It might be the last one I think they actually released. It has a lot of playable games on it, and it's sitting at $4.25. Then in the next ones, we have the Sega Game Gear lot of 8. I say 8 because we have a 7 one too. And that's sitting at a handsome price of $45. I'm happy with that. Some good ones in there. We got a Batman. We got Smash TV, one of my favorite arcade games of all time. So I can see why it's sitting pretty high. Then the interesting Philips CDI, The Joy of Sex. And I have a story about that one. We're going to talk about that one a little bit. We're going to come back to it. So it's quite, I mean, it looks like it's never been played. It's in real nice shape. All right, enough being creepy. Then we go with Return Fire for 3DO, and that's got a box, jewel case, and game. The box is a little bit rough shape, but it's there though, and it's a long box, and that's what's important. You know, I didn't type the word long box in the description. I usually do. Huh, well, who knows? Maybe it helps. Maybe it doesn't help. You just don't know. Then we have another Game Gear lot of 7 games sitting at $26. We got Marble Madness in there. It's actually a really good port of that. And pretty impressed with that game. And then the Chuck Rock 2 is in there and several others. I think there's only like one sport game in each of these Game Gear lots. So it's actually got a pretty good bunch in there. Then we have coming up the Mortal Kombat 3 for the Sony PlayStation 1, complete in box. That's original case too. So that is at $27 currently, and that's pretty cool. The long boxes for the PlayStation, they only did that for like, I want to say, is it the first 6 months to a year or something for game releases? And then they moved to the more economical like CD size. A lot cheaper to ship, a lot of good things that way. So. But yeah, so it's pretty rare to have that one complete. So then we have the Wolfenstein 3D for 3DO. That's sitting at $7.16 with loaded up with some rental stickers on there and a generic box. Then we have Pitfall for the Atari Jaguar, sitting at $22.50. And then Samurai Showdown for the 3DO. Looks a little bit like that Wolfenstein, doesn't it? Like maybe it came from the same place. It sure did. Big game. Big game. They got all the good deals. So, yeah, there you go. It's got rental labels all over it. Now, this Vertical Force, I want this to go higher than $20.50. I'm not going to lie. We are sitting at 15 watchers on it. This is a Virtual Boy game. These are rare as snot, and they're cool, kind of. They're all red, so it's good for the colorblind people. I don't have to worry about a lot of different colors. And, yeah, I'm going to work on fixing my Virtual Boy so that I can play some more of this. Hey, Katie the Creeper's on. Now, let's see here. What else do we got? We got Afterburner for the 32X. It's game cart only. That's sitting at $14.50. I don't think that's such a bad deal. Now, the Ridge Racer, that is sitting at an astonishingly low price for what that is. So I'm a little bit perplexed by it, but it's at $11.61. It is the black label. This is the rare one. This is worth a lot of money in theory. So we might see some snide action come in on that one. Here's one of the Black Friday deals. It's Stacy, my wife's old Walkman from when she was in high school. Look at that. It's sitting at 99 cents, and it has one bid on it and 3 watchers. It doesn't work at all. The next we have, this one is a sweetheart for Katie probably. It's the Children cassette tape lot with case and some Disney books and stuff like that. It's kind of a weird deal. But look at this. We have 0 watchers on it sitting at 99 cents. It's just a mishmash of stuff. So if you look at it here, you got a whole bunch of those kind of like read-along tapes and stuff like that. Some Little Mermaid action book there, Robin Hood, Roger Rabbit, Oliver and Company. And then this case that holds all the tapes. How cool is that? But yeah, this technically can go as media mail because I'm selling audio tapes and books. So we try to keep shipping down on that. So yeah, that's kind of the lineup we have today. Why don't we dial in on the 2 first auctions here? We're at the $15.53 for the Sega Genesis lot, which is a pretty good lot. I mean, it's got King's Bounty in it, for Christ's sake. That is such a fun game. Yeah, we got a couple sports in here. You know, that kind of can hurt things a little bit. But Starflight's in here as well. We have both the Mortal Kombats. Jeez, get with it, folks. We have a Sonic the Hedgehog not for resale. And then Global Gladiator. It's a weird one. I think that's sponsored by McDonald's. And then we have Art of Fighting. It's like a Neo Geo classic, SNK. So, yeah, we have some pretty good stuff right off the bat. Right, Mr. Nissan? You bet. So I think we should give a little applause to that lineup. Oh, isn't that sweet? That's nice. That's so nice. All right. So, let's see here. At the 3 minutes and 28 seconds. When this ends today, all these auctions, just to be warned, I am going to ship what is paid instantly because I have somewhere to be at 2 o'clock. So, I am going to print the labels out right away. So, if you want this shipped before Thanksgiving, you better pay immediately at the end of auction, if that makes any sense. Otherwise, you have to wait for shipping on Friday, which I will do. But I like to try to get them out as quick as possible because I want people to get their merchandise. Yeah. We had quite a weekend. We did that video game show at the brewery, and my wife, beautiful wife, assisted me with the whole process again. She's great with it. She really fits in with these game people a bit, I think. She really took a liking to the guy next to us, I guess you could say. Anyway, she would watch his table every now and then too, because he was selling some candy that his mom made. And he had some other things too that he made himself, which I guess is pretty cool. But anyway, took a arrangement of different games. I forgot a big stack of games at home, which ended up being fine because I didn't have enough table space for anything more, really. But we did okay. I sold a Virtual Boy game in box. I think that went for like $120. I sold my 2 Ambernac game systems that had already loaded up with the ROMs and everything. That I figured that was a better environment to sell something in than eBay, because selling ROMs on eBay is just probably not a good idea. Not that I condone selling ROMs, but you know, it is what it is. Everybody uses ROMs. Get over it. But yeah, so that went from like noon to 4, and they had a live band from like 2 to 4, which actually is pretty good, kind of a bluegrass thing. And of course they had beer there, and the beer is always good. And my buddy Mike came and assisted too. He came a little later into the show, and he ended up buying a Nintendo Wii at the show, which I have at my house. I got to drop that off for you, Mike. Yes, Stacy, you do love the gamers. I know you do. Yeah. And there's this nice girl next to me that was giving me some tips and stuff for the show. A lot of people tell me to go to that Whatnot instead of doing eBay. But I don't know. I kind of... Whatnot, you got to have a pretty big following, and it's all live, from my understanding. So it seems like it could be a bit tricky to get in the audience that I need live. I mean, there's not a ton of people watching us live right now, folks, not to shock you by any means. And if you were my only audience buying, that'd be pretty rough. Now, granted, I know I'd probably get more of an audience because that's what it's made for. But all right, we're getting down to 25 seconds. We're getting close to the snipe land. What could possibly be happening here? I think we're going to see some movement in the Sega Genesis. We're at 15.53, under 20 seconds, $3 on the Sega CD. So let's see what happens here. We're at 15.53 and we're at 10 seconds. Is this a bad time to be selling? Are people leaving work early and they're already at the bars? Are they not buying stuff? Uh-oh. Well, we got $1 increase. Just $1. Sega CD went up. We had 2 snipes, but that wasn't that exciting. Wow! I guess we'll take it though. Yeah. So we went up basically $1 on the Sega Genesis and about $3 on the Sega CD one. So yeah, that Genesis slot. I thought we'd get a little more traction on that. We'll see what happens here. Zool 2 is one of the next ones. And then we have the 3DO sampler disc. And let's see here. Zool 2 is sitting at a whopping $14.50. And the 3DO sampler disc is at $4.25. This could be a bit of a lesson here. We might not get the action we had hoped for normally because it is the holiday. A lot of people are already left for the holiday. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe we're going to get snowed here a little bit. I mean, this Zool here has 23 watchers. There's no reason we shouldn't get sniped if it's sitting at $14.50 complete in box. This game's worth a few bucks, so we'll see what happens. Cold. Yeah. That tastes like cold. So last night, my buddy Kyle, neighbor Kyle, I went out with his wife to the bar again, and she was winning some, there's pig races, it's called. And it's not E-tabs, but it's kind of E-tabby. Like you do pull tabs, you pull them, and you can, like, if you get a pig for the race, if it's the pigs racing that time anyway, you can get a number for it. And I think there's a total of 15 racers each round. And Big Dog was packed. There wasn't a seat to be had at the beginning of all these games, right? And I think there were a total of 5 races. And Katie, I think you're still watching right now, but Katie won 2 of the races of the 5. Like, literally won one. Like, one of them she won $500, and another one she won $300. So, congratulations, Katie. And I was trying to do the odds in my head of that possibly happening, that out of 5 races, you win 2, and there's literally, like, I'm guessing 300 people in there, 200 people, I don't know. But it's got to be like in the thousands to 1. Because, yeah, it's impressive. You were really, really on your game, I guess you could say, last night. But after we got back, I wasn't quite ready to hit the hay or whatever, right? And I have my ice fishing tent set up in the backyard. So I pinged Kyle if he wanted to join me back there and watch some TV, because I have a TV set up there and a couple chairs. It's grass for the bottom. I'm not on a lake. It's kind of silly, really. But it's interesting. I can crank that heat up, and I think within 5 minutes I can get near 70 degrees in there. It's crazy how fast you can heat that thing up. And it was about, I think, 24 degrees last night when we went out there. So it really wasn't very warm. But yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping we get a little more strength out of these auctions, folks. We'll see what happens. It might be the holiday curse, and I may have screwed up these listing times, but these are a little bit of cleanup ones too. So we're still working on the cleanup. I reclaimed my basement because I used to shoot this show in my main arcade area, but it kind of ended up consuming the room. So it was no longer a place where I could have friends come over, things like that, because literally all my eBay stuff was out there, where I'm pulling these games out, staging them for a future week sale or whatever. And then all the boxes you collect to ship these things. Because I try to recycle boxes. Some of my good friends give me their boxes, which is nice. Because a box generally costs you about $1. And that adds up. If you're selling something for $4.25, hey, that's rough. But Yeah, we'll see. Well, we're getting down there on these two. We're still at 1450 and 425, and we're at the 30-second mark. This might be a tough week for the quota if we don't start seeing some snipes come in heavy here. 20 seconds. We're in snipe land, which is good, I hope, right? But we'll see what happens. 10 seconds. Okay, we got $2 more on Zool 2. Someone got the itchy's trigger finger there. We're up to 30.50. We got a real snipe. $40. Folks, we had some good snipe action right there. We'll take that. How about that? Wasn't that fun? All right, so we moved up to $40 on the Zool 2, which what started that at $13.50, so go figure, right? And we didn't get any more movement on the 3DO sampler, but you know what? I'm okay with that. Oh boy, we're going to have to tell a story about this one over here. So, first of all, we have 2 new auctions going up, ending in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. We have the 8 Game Gear lot. It's got some WWF action in there. We got Simpsons, Smash TV. I mean, Batman, Sonic, golf, everything you could ever dream of for your Game Gear is in this lot. But next to it, to our right here, we have the CDI game called The Joy of Sex. Pervy, right? Yeah, pervy. And so I listed this. I bought a Philips CD. I always wanted one because they really were obscure, right? I think they came out 95, 96. And that's about all they lasted, I think, almost too. And Nintendo even partnered with them at one point. They made a Zelda game that is really just full motion video, cartoony stuff. And I think there's a Mario something in there too. At least there's characters in maybe even the Zelda game. It's a very strange game. But it was kind of like a 3DO, but missing a lot of like the GPU graphics performance. So it did more of like video CD stuff. So it's like kind of click and play. And they did have some graphical games. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's stuff to play. Okay. But I bought this like 15 years ago and I got, I don't know, like 12 games with it or something. A Philips CDI controller, this weird stuff. And I started going through my storage area and go, well, maybe it's time, to sell some of the Philips CDI stuff. And this game was right there, and I said, this would be a fun one to sell first, because it's pervy, it's weird, right? And so I pulled it out, put it up, and then a few hours later, I get a ping from somebody on eBay questioning me about this game, saying, hey, I'm one of the biggest collectors of CDI, he said, in the world. And he's also part of the CDI museum of some sort. So they're trying to preserve the CDI, whatever that means. And he came back and said, do I have more? And I said, yes, I do have more. And he goes, would he be willing to sell them to me as a lot? And I said, well, I have this kind of silly show I do. And we sell these games 1 week at a time. So I'll probably be putting up a CDI game almost every week. And he goes, oh, okay, that's really cool. Would you mind taking a picture of it and sending me what you have? I can tell you if you have anything rare or whatnot, right? Take pictures of it in my crawl space, send it to him a couple days later. He comes back and he goes, most of the stuff you have is pretty common, except where did you get that WebEye disc? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? And he goes, I got it in that lot. And he goes, okay. He goes, we thought there are only 3 of them in the world. And now we see there's a 4th. He goes, it's really, really rare. So what it was like a dial-up modem package you could get for the Philips CD. I'm not even sure if it really came out. Like they had some commercials for it, but I don't know if it actually came out. And that was the disc that made it run. And it's literally just kind of unheard of. He said he has a copy of one, and he goes, the museum has a copy of one, and then one guy has the full set. I don't know if it's a prototype, like everything with it, like the modem and all. Oh, we're getting some bids here in the sex game. Look at that. We're going up. Hey, it's still going up. 1850. Come on, CDI. $20, 20.50. Early snipes, I like it. And just my watch is just going nuts here. Oh, we got Sega Game Gear's going up too. $24.50, $49. We got money all over the place here. We're down to 20 seconds. We got early snipers. So regardless, I joined 3 of the CDI Facebook groups now, and I'm gonna try to egg it on a little bit and post that because I gotta have some people. I don't know if I'm gonna do 99 cents or not on that because I don't know what to do. Okay, what's your Joyous Sex? Okay, we ended. We got a snipe to $28.10, and we got $50 for the Game Gear games. That's actually pretty darn good. Way to go. How exciting. That's a few beers right there anyway, right? All right, let's move on. Let's go to the Return Fire for 3DO, which is at $20.50. And we have another Game Gear lot of 7 this time. And that is at $31. So we'll see. Maybe whoever won that last Game Gear lot's going like, I'm going to win this Game Gear lot too. And we can try to combine the shipping and make everything work. So we'll see what happens here. So regardless, he's telling me that Philips CDI WebI disc that's just naked, it's got no case, nothing for it, is worth like $300-400. Potentially, matters whether someone would pay for it. But I feel like if I just put it up for 99 cents, how do I know that anybody that knows anything about it is going to see it? That's weird. I'm just looking at something here. This is the guy that won items from me last week that didn't pay. And he's got a bid in here. I blocked him, but I bet he got this bid in before I blocked him. I think it's him. Yes, it is him. His positive reviews say negative, negative, negative. Abusive eBay buyer. Yes, he was writing me nasty shit too. And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to do it all right. And I even changed his price for him, everything. He never even paid. So hopefully he gets sniped out. Oh, dang it. He won't pay probably if he wins. That's irritating. Sorry, guys. Get a little crabby sometimes. It is what it is. I saw his name and recognized it. I added him to the do not purchase from me anymore list because he was so flippin' rude. The story of what happened with him is he bought 2 items, and at the end of the auctions, I always look to see if somebody bought multiple items because I will try to combine and save them on some shipping, right? And so if you click on one item, it'll pull them both in, and then eBay gives you like the shipping expense. It does some sort of calculation, okay? So in his case, it calculated almost $24 for the 2. And then I do a discount. I gave him a discount of $7 then. And then combine the shipping and get it out the door, right? Or once you pay. And then you send him an invoice. Well, he comes back and says he didn't ask me to combine the shipping. He didn't ask me to raise the shipping price. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about, raising the shipping? I gave you a discount of $7. It's not showing up in the shipping line. It just says discount $7. And he was just really rude back and forth. I'm just like, finally, I go home and I look it up, and he had something to stand on, to be honest, because the 2 games he won, they were both at about $10 shipping, but for some reason, when eBay put them together, they put it at $24. I did not type in the $24 or $23 and change. eBay does that. I calculate the discount. So I gave him a discount of 7, so instead of him paying 20 before, he still was only paying 17. So he was still getting a discount, but he was just an a-hole about it. And instead of really getting after him on it, I just let it sit, not asking for reminders of payment. And after he went through his days of no payment, I canceled the order. But now it's nice to see him bidding on my stuff again. So thanks, bud. Don't worry, I won't combine your shipping again. You'll pay individual and pay more, dumbass. Sorry. Maybe you're watching the video. And if you are, type something in. There are, oh, Mark, I'm sorry, I didn't see this. There are 3 Legend of Zelda games for the Philips CDI. Interesting. Yeah, it's weird. They're supposedly just terrible games, but well, I think we just got a $2 movement on the Sega Game Gear. We're up to $33, and we're $20.50 for Return Fire. 10 seconds to go. 9. All right, let's see. Any more snipes coming in, folks? Somebody please snipe that Return Fire. That's my luck. That guy won it again. Great. Anyway, yeah, we'll see. I wouldn't call any snipes because it happened within before 20 seconds. So we won't call the Game Gear one a snipe technically. We won't call it a snipe. All right, so the next 2 items are the Mortal Kombat 3 for PlayStation 1 in the long box and Wolfenstein 3D for 3DO in the rental case. How about that? That is pretty exciting crap, if I must say. Pretty exciting. Let's see here. So $27 and $7.16. Pretty fun. So this week, I have a lot fewer items going up. Because I kind of dug around in the, when I was getting ready for this video game sale at the brewery over the weekend. And I kind of pulled out some large dollar item things. And I like to kind of keep my quota. I don't want to make too much every week or not enough too, right? And I only have 4 auctions going up. Hey, we just got a bid in Wolfenstein. We're up to $12.50. That's a nice little... That's a beer right there. That's a beer. And so when I was doing it, though... So I was trying to think about getting ready to host Thanksgiving, whatever, here. And I wanted to get all the eBay auctions up Monday, scheduled for today. That's scheduled, so you get them up, take all the pictures, weigh them, get them all boxed up. And one of the games I accidentally scheduled for Monday. So we have we'll call it a Cyber Monday deal. And who knows, maybe I'll go live for one auction just really quick. But otherwise we'll just let her go. But it's Nestor's Funky Bowling, which is a very rare game, again, for the Nintendo Virtual Boy. And it's complete in box, so that makes it pretty sweet. It's already got quite a few bids. I think it's up to $27.50 already. So we'll see how that goes. My Cyber Monday sale, right? And then we have 3 other items. We have a Sega Nomad that's going up today. We have the Tetris / Dr. Mario for the Super Nintendo. And what is the last item? Oh, we have a 2DS gaming system. The 2DS, if you're not familiar with it, you probably heard of the 3DS, which is a clamshell Game Boy. And the 2DS played the 3DS games, which is great, but it didn't play them in 3D because the 3DS, if you flipped a switch, it actually things would kind of come out of the screen a little bit. It was really weird. You didn't have to wear glasses or anything. It's a pretty sweet game system because the 2DS, I think it's ergonomically easier to play because the way the 3DS had that hinge that opened up, your hands get kind of cramped if you're playing it too long, I think. It's personal. But the 2DS is pretty good. And it's in really nice shape. And it's electric blue. I think that may have been part of a Mario Kart bundle or something at one point to get that version. I don't know. I bought it used several years ago. But it charges up, plays great. And I also have a 3DS XL going up for sale here soon. That is the Monster Hunter edition, which is rare, and it's complete in box. And I was getting it ready for the show, and the battery was shot. So I had to buy a new battery and open it up and put it in. But guess what? It's working perfect now. And it's got a new battery. So hats off to that, right? It's the worst beer. Garage beer. It's a shame, really. 20 seconds to go. What do we got here? $27 on Mortal Kombat. Come on. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. That only has 15 watchers. That's interesting. I thought this would be a much more popular item, but you never know. 27. Oh, we're up to 36. Nice snipe there. 42. Now we're singing. And 32 on the Wolfenstein. And 48. Hey, guys. Those were some nice snipes. All right. I'm going to refresh. I just want to see who the winners were. Oh, I think it's the same too. Okay, that's interesting. All right, so what do we have up next? We have Pitfall, a Mayan Adventure. And then we have the Samurai Showdown for the 3DO. Look at that. Interesting. So yeah, we got the Pitfall sitting at $22.50. And we have the Samurai Showdown for 3DO in rental case sitting at $9.38. So should be a good one, we hope, anyway, right? Should be. 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go. So I've been playing, it's kind of nerdy what I've been doing. Super Mario Galaxy, they re-released it for the Nintendo Switch. And they made it a limited copy, which seemed kind of ridiculous at first because they seemed to flood the market with it. But now it's like worth money. And I want to play it though, so I've been playing it. Because it has other games on it too. It has like the GameCube Mario, can't think of the name for GameCube. It has that one on there, and then it also has, I think, Nintendo 64 Mario. And they're enhanced, whatever, I think, for the Switch, technically. But the Mario Galaxy plays really well, and I've been using Rollkid glasses with it. And I don't know if you know what those are, but they're kind of like VR glasses, but they look more like sunglasses. They just come up from your face a little bit. They look really nerdy. But they work so well on the Nintendo Switch. So you can just recline back in your chair, lay all the way back, and you're playing. And then I use the Wiimo's because you got to move your right wrist a little bit to get the stars and stuff. And it is so relaxing, and it's such a fun game. I'm convinced that Nintendo Wii, like GameCube Wii, 360, PlayStation 3, okay? That's all the graphics I need in this world. I don't need much more than that. I feel, this is my opinion, that most of the games made today focus too much on the graphics and less on the fun. I may be wrong. Or they're just copying from that generation. Because that generation had some sweet get titles. And they were fun. Really fun. And you can kind of see it in the Switch. Because the Switch is really technically about that generation. Probably like a PS3, Xbox 360 type graphics. And Nintendo just hones in, has been making knockouts, especially the first party games. And they just keep re-releasing them too, which I think is a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of fun. Let's see, we're at 1:30 to go. We're still sitting here at 22.50 and 9:38. I really want to get done with this beer so I can start another one. Why is it a beer that tastes like nothing is so unappealing? And I get it, okay? I drink a lot of Coors Light, and you could argue Coors Light tastes like water beer too. But it has a taste to it. It has a taste. And it's like almost like a little sweet taste, if that makes sense, with a little bit of a beer kick. When it comes to Miller, like, oh, we got a bid on Samurai Showdown. We're up to $10 even. Under a minute to go. $10.50. Someone's testing the waters in here. I wonder who it is. Oh, we do have a new... I wonder if that one guy's trying to win more. Oh, this guy's winning both of these at the same time right now. Look at that. Huh. Interesting. Going after Jaguar and 3DO at the same time. Must be a real collector. Sometimes I think these guys own shops too. Because if you own like a shop, if you can get these for under the value, if that makes sense, it's a great way to do it. Under 10 seconds to go. Let's see if we got any real snipes here. Oh, we got a snipe here. 23.45 on the Pitfall. Oh, up to 47.50. And 10.50 still for Samurai Showdown. So we had a good snipe there at the end. All right, we'll go with that. Well, let's get a little snipe. Wow! All right, how about that? Decent snipes today. So there are people out there watching today a little anyway, right? Oh, I did vertical force twice. That's kind of dumb. Afterburners had a little bit of heat, which is good. This vertical force, it's a really fun game for the Virtual Boy. Hard to play an emulator because you're going up and down, and it's using the 3D effect to do it. But in the emulator, you can't see the 3D effect. Coors tastes like bananas. Prove me wrong. Well, I'll be having a Coors Light at a little bit after 2 today, Michael, and I'll see if I can prove you wrong. That's funny. Ugh. I think this is just like that duck beer. Where does it say it's brewed at? Let's see here. It says small batch brewed. What? Like a 5-gallon bucket of water and you pour it in the can? I don't know. It's hard to read these because they print them in such a goofy way. So it's in California. I don't know. Pretty rough though. All right, let's move on to something different. Hey, Mr. Nissan, what are we putting in you now? We're gonna do. I keep buying the same sample packs because they're just delicious. But the Extra Pale Ale Summit. That's what we're going with right now. This is real beer. Ooh, yeah. That's a good sound. Okay. So New Wave Toys has an item coming to me today that will be up on the channel here soon. It is... Let's bring it up. I can probably show it to you. I thought I had it. Oh, wait. I do. Hold on. Now I know where it's at. So it is a USB charging station that looks like an old cigarette machine. Doesn't that sound like fun? Look at that. And instead of K cool, it's C cool for branding reasons, right? And then they have little stickers here on the final product that shows like they're kind of like, it says like Marlboro, but it's like spelt slightly different, like a whole bunch of different brands. And you can pull them out and have it printed by somebody else. But it is the coolest little device. And it comes with a smoking pack. So this is miniature. I mean, these little cigarettes are going to be like this big. But how cool is that? Wish they showed the back of it. Because the back it's USB charger, right? So it'll have 4 normal USB-A ports. And it'll have 2 USB-C ports. And it's a total of 60 watts power. I think it's 20 watts for the normal A types. And then for the C's, it's 40 watts. So nice little... Look at that. That's bonus smoking kit. So anyway, I'm not opening it. It has a black light mode too, where you can go from classic light mode, so it looks just like normal. But if you hit the black light mode, it actually kind of glows, which is pretty cool. And I think that'll be a fun one to put up here soon. So I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until it's sold out, and then we'll try to capitalize on that as much as we can, right? All right, so what's going on here? We got 23 seconds. Vertical Force hasn't done anything almost yet. 23:50, 26. We just got to snipe there. We're still at 15 seconds. We're still at 14:50 for Afterburner. Let's see here. We're down to the 10-second mark. $27 Vertical Force. Creep along. 46.11. That's what I like to see. And $54.50 and $25.85. Those are some nice snipes, folks.
Wow!
Whew. Yeah, we're doing okay today after all, aren't we? There's people sitting around making the bids. Maybe they're just waiting to get out of work and there's nothing else going on. This might be the biggest disappointment of the day because this is supposed to be worth a crap ton of money. The Ridge Racer. But we'll see. Oh, paired up with a broken Walkman. How about that? Dear lordy lord. I try to get these bars to line up. It's funny how... Oh. There we go. I got them lined up now. That's more visually pleasing now, I must say. So we're at $15.50 for the Ridge Racer and an amazing 99 cents on the Walkman. Save with combined shipping. They're advertising that now. This seller offers combined shipping. I don't ever remember making that checkbox, but I do try my best to combine shipping when I can. It's hard, though. It's a pain in the butt. All right, we still got the 3 minutes yet. So, I'm using the new microphone still. Seems to be working well. But get this. 30 minutes before the show today, that noise came back. And I'm like, oh no. And I think I finally figured out the root cause of the noise. So you have all of these items. So I have a camera here. I have a microphone here. I have a camera here. I have speakers back here. And I have a sound thing like right there. And when you're loading this into Streamlabs, all your hardware, it'll have like what's called scenes. Scenes are right now, it says I'm in desktop with camera. So I named the scene, right? So you're seeing my main desktop and you see a little picture of me in the corner dancing around, right? Hey. Oh, thanks. That was a decent dance, but I wouldn't say it's that good. Anyway, the mixer side, it pulls in everything, and so it was, even though it wasn't using the microphone from a camera, it was having the camera associate the main mic to it. So it was almost like it was having multiple mics when it was really only having one. And it was causing some sort of disturbance. And it was weird because it almost acts like hardware where like it happens and then it won't go away, but it just suddenly happens. And reboot everything, nothing would fix it. And I found that if I go and mute those items individually, it seems to take care of the problem. So I can sit here and stop talking and it won't make garbage noise. Now the furnace is running right now, so you might hear a furnace. But regardless, I'm happy. I think I figured that out. So, boy, I want that Ridge Racer to really go up. I thought that was a real prize right there. Even so, I replaced the case on this with a brand new case, but I keep the black part because the brand new case is literally identical to the originals, but the black part's slightly different. So I reuse the black part because that's usually not damaged. And so, yeah, this is sitting kind of low. This is really low because I think I paid like $7 for that case alone. And this is supposed to be worth like literally like a lot of money, and it's at $15.50. So I'm really confused. Let's hope we get some real snipes because this is silly. Banking on her. All right, we're getting in the snipe zone. 20 seconds, folks. We're at $15.50 and 99 cents. If we get more than 99 cents for that Walkman, I'll be surprised, but we'll see. 10 seconds. Come on, Ridge Racer. Rev up those engines. Let's go. 5 seconds. Nothing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God. Someone got the deal of a century. Well, good for them. That's what happens sometimes. That is what happens sometimes. All right. The bonus item. I'm going to hit refresh on this one. The Walkman was kind of a bonus item. But, hey, the Nomad already has a bid. It just went up, too. All right. And there's that Nestor Funky Bowling that's ending Monday. It has 29 watchers on it. How about that? All right. So this is a weird item. I don't know if you want to stay for this show or not on this part, but this is what it is. It's 99 cents. It has 0 watchers, and it's a bunch of crap. I don't know what else to say. I don't think anything is worth anything in there, really, but if somebody likes those old Disney cassettes, Fisher-Price cassettes, whatever, here's a tape. It's called Just Grandpa and Me. I bet that's really special. Mother Goose is on the loose. This is kind of fun. It's the Chipmunks tape when they sing like that high-pitched voice. It's really just a whole bunch of old men that just play it fast. I think it's so weird. But, yeah. Discover the world of sounds. Just a bunch of crap. Well, if this doesn't sell, if anybody wants it, it's theirs free that's watching the show. I'm just not shipping it to you. But, yeah. I don't know. I got my Vikings stuff on today. I'm proud. The Vikings, it's hard being a Vikings fan. That's really what it comes down to. Because we never go to the Super Bowl anymore, not since 1977. That's the year I was flipping born. Have we been in the Super Bowl? We've never won a Super Bowl. But we always seem to have an okay team. We're generally competitive. There's some years I know it didn't work out that way even at all, but we're generally a competitive team. But if you look at our team today, do you really think we're going to get far in the playoffs? We'll probably get through first round. It's so weird because I think we're 9-2. And we're a wild card seat just because Detroit's just kicking ass. And Green Bay's right behind us yet, which is so weird. The North is weird this year. But every game we win, except for a few at the beginning of the season, it felt like we almost got lucky we won. And it was that way a little bit last year, I think it was too, to be honest. But keep the tapes. Mail me garage beer. Yeah. Not going to mail you beer, Olmanson. I'm going to try to pawn it off my in-laws this weekend and see what they think of it. Ugh, that's good. So, when this ends in a minute and a half here, the show, I'm going to be just literally shipping who paid first and whoever is paid, because I usually sit around for an hour after the show and let people pay in, but I got someplace I'm supposed to be at around 2, and I got to go to the post office first, so we'll print off the labels I can, and they're going to have to wait for the shipping to go out Friday, I guess. So we'll see. But should be a good time. Should be a good time under a minute without a watcher. This is going to take someone real special to bid on this. I can't believe you guys are still watching the show for this. Oh, God. What do you do? Kind of is what it is. But at least this microphone versus the first microphone I bought as a replacement, I think you guys can hear me from anywhere at the desk now, because I'd go like this and you couldn't hear me anymore. Almost. It got really quiet, I heard. So this one seems to work quite well. And very reasonably priced. Very reasonably priced. All right, we're under 20 seconds. Here we are at 15 seconds. We got no bids. Go media mail. If someone literally wins it for 99 cents, I'm going to lose money on the auction. Because the media mail, it's straight costs. 2 seconds, and we have 0 bids. All right, folks. I want to thank you for watching. I had a nice time. I hope you had a nice time. We had some good snipes today. A lot to be thankful for. Enjoy turkey with your family or whatever you're having. Take care.